Hello, this is Jamie Hadfield with the Legends, Health, Wellness, and Performance podcast. Today we have a special guest from Team Mary Jane. His name is Josh Whitaker. Not only does he have a Team Mary Jane marketing company, he also owns several other companies. Welcome, Josh Whitaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Cannabis industry, you specifically help cannabis companies market themselves.
Yes.
How did you get involved in this space?
I have been doing websites for a while, and we decided that, well, actually I watched a YouTube video once by a guy named Bill Gross. He's the founder of Idea Lab, and Idea Lab is a company that basically just launches companies. And why was I looking at the camera right there? I should just look at you. Anyway, so Idea Lab starts companies. They launch companies. And what he did was he studied a bunch of his top successful companies, and then he studied a bunch of companies outside of Idea Lab, and to figure out what were the similarities of what made those companies so successful. And consistently, it wasn't the idea, it wasn't the money behind the idea, it wasn't the team. Consistently, it was that timing of the idea. And 4 years ago, Denver, Colorado became recreationally legal shortly before that, and I was like, how do I get into the cannabis industry? We're at the perfect timing. I mean, we still are, even 4 years later, like we're still way down here, right? So, yeah, that's how I got in. And we just started doing the exact same things, just doing websites and SEO and stuff. And because we soon became specialists in the industry, we grew pretty quick and got some big clients right out the gate and allowed us to grow really fast. And now we launch CBD companies for a living, and we're launching a marketing platform just for dispensaries right now to make it easy on them. Yeah, we're having fun.
So you go around and speak.
Yep.
That's how I met you.
Right.
I met you in Anaheim at a CBD convention, and you were one of the speakers where you were helping these companies learn. So what is the platform? What are people that are thinking that they want to get into the cannabis industry? What do they need to know?
I think it's more important from what they need to know is what not to do. I think that's the key thing here is, people will go up and they'll have, their brother's kid start a website for them, and maybe that gets them by for a few months, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh crap, I can't use PayPal, and they get shut down. Or, oh crap, I can't use, whatever payment gateway came with their platform, and they get shut down. Maybe they're using Shopify and they're selling to Nebraska, which is CBD is illegal, and Shopify just shuts them down completely. I mean, there's so many things, and that's just like a little piece, right? There's so many other things. One of the first things we do with working with the CBD company, we determine whether they're going to talk about CBD or they're going to talk about hemp. That main qualification right there has everything to do with their strategy. Are we going to do Facebook ads and Google ads and sell on Amazon? Well, then you can't have CBD or cannabidiol written anywhere on the website. If you want to focus on what the hot topics are, the hot words are, it's CBD. So if you're going to do that, then you just have to, kind of disregard those other things and latch on to CBD.
Let's explain that though, because some people that might be listening to this might not know the difference between CBD and hemp. Let's differentiate that first.
That's a good question. So cannabis is up here. Cannabis is the species, and then there's marijuana, and then there's hemp, industrial hemp. So marijuana is what gets us high. Industrial hemp is what CBD is derived from. Now you can derive CBD from marijuana, but most people don't. Most people are deriving CBD from industrial hemp, and the CBD is legal in 47 states. So 47 states you're able to ship to. I say legal as a kind of a
loose term.
Very loose, very loose
term.
Yeah. Technically, CBD is illegal in all 50 states. But the government is not going to use any federal funds to fight these crimes. Is right now. So CBD CBD from industrial hemp is what is used to get people. Majority of people is to get them well. And that's what you're selling. That's what the overwhelming majority of CBD companies are selling. So if you have CBD or cannabidiol on your website, it is difficult. It's not impossible. Difficult to run Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google, and it is impossible to get on Amazon that way. But if you want to work, if you're okay with not selling on those channels and you want to focus on what the hot topic is, which is CBD, then you need to have that you just have to own that, right?
Well, that's what this industry is so hard or difficult or challenging because of the different avenues, the social media avenues that you can't necessarily target. And a lot of people feel like they can target that, and then it ends up happening, they find out the hard way, like you're saying.
Exactly.
How are you guiding companies to still be on social media without that piece?
So it really depends. Actually, let me go back for just a second. So we were just talking about the difference between hemp and CBD, or cannabis and CBD, all these types of terms, right? But here's one common problem that we have with the consumer, and that is a consumer sees hemp oil in Whole Foods and thinks, oh my gosh, that's the same thing that Jamie is selling for $60 a bottle, and it's $20. But let's just differentiate that real quick, right? So for the people that don't know, hemp oil in Whole Foods is not the same thing. If you see somebody that's advertising hemp oil and it's expensive, that's probably CBD. They're just trying to get around, they're trying to skirt those laws of Google and Facebook and those things, right? So obviously you have to do your research as a consumer, it's kind of difficult. But hemp seed oil that's found in Whole Foods and Walmart and all these things, that's totally different. That does not have near the medicinal benefits of a CBD company, or a company that is selling CBD but calling themselves, hemp oil on the box, or hemp extract.
Yeah, so hemp extract is different than hemp oil, and that's what people really need to be paying attention to.
Right.
Okay. What are other, before we go back to that previous question, other misconception or misleading things that are actually in the market? Because I feel like there's a lot of, in this industry, there's a lot of misguidance and things like that. When you were saying the CBD and the hemp and the hemp extract. What are other things that are misleading?
I think the most misleading thing is what is in the bottle. It's tough for a consumer, because a consumer is going to buy a bottle that says, it may say 30 milliliters, and it may not say what's in the bottle. It may not say how much CBD is in the bottle.
How many milligrams of CBD?
Right.
Because there's no legal laws of how many milligrams.
Yeah.
Even on a THC CBD ratio, a 1-to-1 ratio, you're coming across a lot of 1-to-1, 20-to-1, 40-to-1. But how much is that? How many milligrams of CBD is that?
And then testing. Like, how many CBD companies put the testing, put their lab tests on the website? The majority of them, unfortunately, don't. Don't buy from them. Like, you need to put you need to buy from the ones that put it on. Now, another unfortunate thing. I just read a report the other day that talked about there's a lab out in California that's been forging the test results for companies for a long time. Like,
wow.
It's unbelievable. We're so new. This industry is so new that it's difficult to know what to buy. So you really have to do your research. You really have to get recommendations from friends on what's working for them, and then just read reviews, right? That's key.
Now, I know you're particularly selective on the companies that you'll market for.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
So we have well over 700 CBD brands out there right now. Unfortunately, the majority of them are just white labeling, or they're just selling one thing. They're just selling a tincture. Some of them are even making this, in their kitchen, because tincture isn't that difficult to make, it seems. So who's doing it right? Like, who's doing it correctly? Who's got a good business sense brain? Who's the founder? What's the founder's story? What is the are they have good values? If we're working with a company that only cares about price, or that only cares about their revenues, or only care about how much money they're going to make, then we don't have anything to do with them, because they're going to cut corners. They're gonna buy from a maybe they're buying wholesale CBD from a cut rate company that forged its test results, because they don't mind working with those kind of companies if they're that type of company. So we are definitely selective on who we work with.
Okay, Nate, let's talk about this dispensary that you were just launching
Dispensary in a Box.
Dispensary in a Box. Tell us more about that.
Sure. So I was in Palm Springs, California last year, and I did a Google search on my phone, dispensary near me. 9 dispensaries came up on Google Maps. 2 of those were doctor's offices. 2 of those were closed, so at least 5. 5 dispensaries on Google Maps in all of the Palm Springs area. Now, I am a smart consumer. I went to Weed Maps. The average consumer does not know to go to Weed Maps. They're just going to do a Google search. Everybody does a Google search, right? There were actually 25 dispensaries. I visited or called every single one just to make sure they're legit. 25. So that's a huge market. So we've got 20 dispensaries that they either didn't have websites at all, they were really bad websites, they weren't on Google Maps, obviously, so they didn't have a Google My Business listing. Like, this is just basic stuff. They don't have it. And through some research, like a lot of research, we studied about 3,000 dispensaries, online personas, me and my team, and came up with this massive report. And the majority of them don't have websites. The ones that do have websites don't have any search engine optimization, so they're not found on Google or Google Maps at all. They're on Weed Maps or they're on Leafly, but you need Google. Like,
yes, you need Google.
Everybody needs Google. There is just yesterday. Well, I don't know when Google launched it, but just yesterday I saw that Google now allows recreational and medicinal menus on Google. So Google's trying to take the place of Weed Maps, and I'm pretty sure they can do that. So now you don't even have to go to Weed Maps to see the menu. You can see the menu right there on Google. You've got to be on Google. You've got to have a website. You've got to have search engine optimization. You've got to have social media posting. Like, I can't remember what the statistic was.
You just said that earlier. You said that you can't do social media posting. So
just the ads.
Let's talk about that.
The ads.
Okay.
We're talking about social media ads.
Okay.
You have to be doing social media posting because you're limited to what you can do. From a CBD company or a dispensary, you're limited on the types of advertising and marketing that you can do. So social media is key. The problem is, what we found was the majority of dispensaries are posting incorrectly. They're posting sales. They're posting, come buy one, get one free today. They're posting all these things. That's illegal. You can't post the sale of drugs on Facebook or Instagram. You have to post information. So
wait, hold on. Are we calling this a drug, or are we calling this a nutritional supplement?
Is marijuana a drug?
That's a good question.
Schedule 1, narcotic, has no medicinal value whatsoever. Some cockamamie horse shit right there. But until the laws change, it is a drug. Absolutely. Facebook's terms and their guidelines say you cannot post about, I think it even uses the term recreational drugs. Like, you can't even post about that. Like, as a dispensary, you have to provide good information.
Now, also, I know that privacy in terms and refunds come into play too on websites. How? Sure.
So that's a switch back to CBD companies. So dispensaries don't have to worry about this kind of thing, because a dispensary website is really just an informational website. You shouldn't really be selling anything right there. Maybe you're selling some gear, maybe you're selling some shirts and hats, maybe some pipes or something. Then this would apply. But let's go back to CBD companies. CBD company has to have a refund policy, a terms and conditions, a privacy policy. Like, if you're selling online, go to any e-commerce store on the planet that's a serious e-commerce store, and you have those things. Merchant processors require those things. PayPal says they require those things, but most people don't have those things because PayPal just lets you tie it into your personal account and they don't ever think about it. But if they do a deep dive into your business, which they do for CBD companies, you better have these things. You need these things. Don't make them shut you down because you don't have a privacy policy, because you didn't spend 5 minutes, writing up or editing a privacy policy that you found online. Like, obviously, you should consult an attorney for those kind of things. But if not, there are plenty of free places where you can, get a free privacy policy, free terms and conditions. Come up with your refund policy. We accept all refunds within 30 days, no questions asked. I mean, so you got to have those things on the website.
Okay, so what do you see the future in marketing for the cannabis industry?
in the very near future, cannabis is going to become legal. CBD will probably become legal first. We'll be able to market the crap out of that. We'll be able to jump on CBD for Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google and Amazon, and of course we're prepping for all of that, right? We're ready to hit that switch. Constantly contact Shopify rep, Google rep. I don't have an Amazon rep, but I have an Amazon store guy. His specialty is getting companies, getting brands onto his store, which then gets them to create their own store and then be successful. So I'm in constant contact with these people, and I loved. As soon as I heard that the chief marketing officer of Shopify went to speak at a cannabis conference in Canada, I called up my rep and I said, "What the hell is this? You won't allow CBD companies, or you'll shut CBD companies down if they sell to Nebraska or Idaho, but your rep is up there speaking?" And that's when I found out that Shopify is making a big push.